Hey, what is up? We are back, and I've got two things to show you here today. One is this awesome mouse that you see that looks sick as fuck, and the Epomaker Galaxy 100 Lite. This, as you can hear, this is a pretty creamy keyboard. We'll get to that in a second, but first let's talk about the Carbon X. That's exactly what it says, Carbon X. This thing is carbon fiber, and you see a familiar name here. It says Ajaz. That means this is a collab mouse between Epomaker and Ajaz, and they came up with a symmetrical esports gaming mouse with 8K polling rates, tri-mode, 3950 sensors. Pretty awesome spec, to be honest with you. And let me get the keyboard out of the way so we can talk about the mouse. And this mouse, guys, it's kind of like pretty amazing, because one of the things I wanted to share with you was, check out the weight. It says 50 grams on the not on the box, but yeah, it does say 50 grams, approximate 50 grams. But in reality, it's 46.5 grams. Now, have you seen any other brand actually go below the marketing weight? No. This is the first one. And this is with the stock skates. So if you put dot skates, you might even get it down to 45 grams. So yeah, this is a tri-mode carbon fiber mouse. The dongle looks like that. I did an unbox on the shorts, if you guys caught that. Pretty small dongle, very interesting mouse because of its carbon fiber, the way it's made, and the Omron opticals are pretty amazing as well. Let me give you a sound test first and foremost. Yeah, so that's the sound test. It is very silent, if I'm being honest, but the click feel and implementation of the switches are exquisite. They are absolutely amazing. There is hardly any pre-travel and post-travel. The clicks are snappy and fast, and because it is made of carbon fiber, you are getting a very rigid mouse 1 and mouse 2 buttons, and that means a very satisfying click everywhere you press on it. It reminds me of the Beast X original with the Omron opticals. When you click on it, you can immediately feel the responsiveness, the tackiness. It is just a very satisfying feel. Now, of course, it's not perfect. It does have solid sides, which is a good thing that it's got going for it, but not everybody is a fan of the holes, and also the weight balancing. It is slightly forward heavy, and that's just because the battery is right on top of the PCB, because I think maybe it doesn't look very nice if the battery is sticking out at the back, but that's an easy fix if the weight balance really bothers you. In my hand, I don't feel anything. It feels just great. The size of the mouse is something like on the smaller side, something like a Skyrox V6, something like a G Pro Superlight 2C perhaps. I've not tried it myself, but that's what I would imagine a G Pro Superlight 2 would feel like, or 2C. That's what I wanted to say actually. And the grip width on the lowest part of the mouse where the sensor is 56.22. This is the standard medium size mouse, or the medium size width. Normally on the wider mice, if I'm not mistaken, the G Pro Superlight is around the 59 mark. There you go, that's the 59 mark width, and on the Carbon X 56. So you're getting a smaller version of the potato shape, which is kind of like what a lot of people kind of are gravitating to nowadays, with the success of the Skyrox V6 and now the Superlight 2C, which seems to be getting a lot of attention recently. But what you don't get out of the Superlight 2C is this incredible lightweight 46 gram Omron optical, very satisfying feel. I wish there was a way you could feel how I'm feeling with this mouse in my hand. It's kind of like, I would imagine how if you were coming from a G Pro Superlight and that was like feeling, maybe this is a little bit too big for me. I want something a little bit more compact, a little bit more stubby, a little bit more giving me some movement, freedom of movement in my hand, and I would definitely gravitate over to something like this feel. Now I know Epomaker is not going to get a lot of attention for this mouse because Epomaker are just not a famous brand for making mice, but this is definitely a statement piece coming from Epomaker. They are not messing around. They did a good move there, collaborating with Ajaz to come up with this mouse, which marks their kind of like serious entry. This is their second mice. I didn't get a chance to try the first one, but this one is a significant step up to challenge the upper echelons of performance mouse or performance mice. And this is by no means an expensive mouse. This is only $79.99, $80 for literally a top tier mouse. This has all the specs that a G Pro Superlight or a top tier a Razer Viper V3 would have. There is literally no difference in terms of the materials and performance. A lot of mouse for very little money. This has a 300 milliamp battery as well. The web UI works great. The button implementations are great. If you click on the side buttons as well, they work just like any top tier AAA brand mouse. Now the bottom, of course, it's got the Lamzu, the old school Lamzu kind of design. Maybe the Atlantis, which would be shaped like this slightly, or the Thorn, not the Thorn, was it the Thorn? It was the Maya, and Maya X would have a similar kind of bottom. But yeah, very interesting shape, very interesting mouse, and the coating as well is kind of special. It is not especially grippy, but it has a very, very smooth surface. It almost feels like there's no coating, but I assure you there is some kind of coating on it, because once your hand warms up a little bit, you got a very nice grippy feeling on it. The surface or the coating of the mouse, it is super smooth. It is, I think, probably the smoothest mouse that I have come across so far. Very nice to hold, very nice to touch. It's very nice on the hand. When you have it, when you're gripping it in your hand, it just feels really, really nice. And yeah, something you should experience for yourself. If you manage to pick one up for $79, $80, it's a really good deal. And if you get one for even less than that, probably on AliExpress, if you could get this for $60, $65, I think that is like, you can't say no to that deal. That's my opinion on that, on the Epomaker Carbon X anyway. But next up is the Galaxy 100 Lite. Almost full keyboard. This is 98%, and you're getting that all aluminum Galaxy creamy sound. If you remember the original Galaxy 80 looked like, really amazing looking, even more amazing sound, and the new Galaxy Lite also remains with that sound, that creamy sound that is very unique to the Galaxy sound. This keyboard is actually highly underrated, flew under the radar. Not a lot of people notice it, but The Galaxy 80 looks like that, and there is also a Galaxy 100 that looks exactly like this with the bottom base, and dongle is hidden right here magnetically. On the Galaxy Lite, you're getting a different kind of deal. On the Galaxy Lite, the bottom looks kind of different. Instead of that kind of base, you're getting like a two-piece base where the screws are exposed. So that's the only difference between the Galaxy 80 or the Galaxy 100 and the Galaxy Lite. Everything else is the same. This is a $100 keyboard if you pick one with the Wisteria linear switch, which is the one I have right now. And I think for this price you are getting an amazing sound. Just check it out. And you're also getting a 3-mode keyboard, which means you got Bluetooth, you got 2.4G, and you have wired mode if you wanted to. It is also full RGB. I don't know if you can see the RGB lights under my bright studio light, but it is there. I hope you can catch it. And these are for our people who need the numpad, so we got you covered. And there's also a functional knob. Very, very nice keyboard, which is also QMK VIA customizable, which means there is a web driver that is an independent web driver, not made by Epomaker. It is a universal web driver, which is trusted by most custom keyboard community people. And underneath all this is powered by an 8000 milliamp battery, which is going to give you lots of juice for your wireless needs, even with the RGB on. Of course, when you're on wireless mode, I don't recommend you turn the RGB on because it'll suck your battery. I think you got like 3 days of battery, maybe 2-3 days of battery with RGB on. Without the RGB on, I think you're gonna get like 500 hours. It says here 500 hours, literally 500 hours without RGB backlight. So that's pretty amazing. Again, you've got Bluetooth connection, you've got 2.4 Hz, so you can connect to your laptop, you can connect to your PC with the 2.4, and you can just switch between the two without doing anything. Everything will just happen seamlessly. It is pretty amazing. And of course, this is a gasket mounted. This is what the Galaxy series is famous for. Very nice creamy sound with the gasket mount. Lots and lots of foam, pour on, all kinds of stuff that make it sound this way. And yeah, let me give you a sound test, and then we'll end the video there. Here we go. And there you go, that is the Galaxy 100 Lite. This is the there are two colors available. This is creamy white, and there is another one which is in black. I prefer the creamy white because it's got that keycaps that are three-toned. They're kind of white, fading into the kind of like yellowish, and then you've got that blue accent keys on the arrows, enter, escape, and it's pretty cool. Let me pull out one of these switches for you so that you can have a look at what's underneath. You can see the south-facing RGB LED lights. These are the Epomaker Wisteria linear switches that is delivering those creamy sounds. Anyway, that is the video for today. Hope you enjoyed it and took some useful information. You want a full keyboard? Well, this is not a full keyboard. It's a 98% almost full keyboard that does most of the office functionalities or the productive functionalities really well. This is the Epomaker Galaxy 100 Lite. Extremely nice, creamy sounding keyboard. Make all your office mates super jealous with this piece of kit. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.